I'm here to tell you, if you are out here doing ministry with the intention of preaching a word, but not the word, please sit down and go home somewhere. Because if your word didn't make me, then your word surely can't save me. If we want to see a revival happen in this generation, we don't need new methods. And we don't need new words. We simply need to return to the means of grace that God has already promised to bless, which is the faithful preaching of the word. Paul tells Timothy, preach the word. Why? Look at verse 3. For the time is coming when people will not endure sound teaching, but having itching ears, they will accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own passions. They will turn away from listening to the truth and wander off into myths. Paul has already talked to Timothy about the subject of time. In chapter 3, he said, in the last days, there will come times of difficulty. In the last days, the difficulty will be so because people will be lovers. If you're familiar with the text, you know that Paul means more than that. He describes all kinds of different sins. He says in the last days, people will be proud, they will be arrogant, they will be abusive. And all of those traits are an expression of love. So it seems that one commentator put it that the entire list that Paul gives in chapter 3 is a reaction to people basically being inherently lovers of self. From this love of self, which is an inordinate, self-centered, narcissistic kind of preoccupation that we all have with ourselves that we're born with. I don't know if you've ever seen a 2-year-old. They're the most arrogant beings I've ever seen in my life. Paul is saying that in the last days, that's how we gonna be. That's how we function. He also says that people will not just be lovers of themselves, but they'll be lovers of pleasure and lovers of money.